Once upon a time, in a quaint seaside village, there stood a solitary lighthouse perched on the rugged cliffs. The village was surrounded by tales of storms and shipwrecks, but the beacon of hope in those dark times was the lighthouse and its dedicated keeper, an old man named Captain Elias. Captain Elias had spent most of his life navigating the tumultuous waters and guiding ships safely to shore. As the years passed, he found solace in the rhythmic sweep of the lighthouse beam and the soothing sound of waves crashing against the rocks. He had become not only the keeper of the light, but also a guardian of the village's maritime history. The village, with its colorful cottages and cobbled streets, was a close-knit community where everyone knew each other. Children would gather around Captain Elias, eager to hear stories of his daring adventures at sea. They marveled at his tales of conquering mighty waves and braving fierce storms, their eyes widening with each word. One stormy night, as the wind howled and the rain lashed against the cliffs, a weary ship struggled to find its way. The seas were treacherous, and the captain of the ship feared for the safety of his crew and cargo. Through the darkness, the desperate captain spotted the reassuring beam of the lighthouse, a beacon cutting through the storm. Captain Elias, ever vigilant, saw the distant ship in distress. With a heart full of compassion, he rushed to the lighthouse's lantern room, ensuring that the light shone with unwavering brightness. The ship, guided by the steady pulse of the lighthouse, navigated through the tempest and safely reached the harbor. The grateful captain, with a face worn by the storms he had faced, approached Captain Elias. "You saved us, old man. We owe you our lives," he exclaimed, his voice a mixture of relief and gratitude. Captain Elias, with a humble smile, replied, "It is the duty of the lighthouse to guide those lost at sea. We are all sailors in need at some point in our lives." News of Captain Elias's heroism spread throughout the village, and the villagers held a celebration in his honor. The children, who had always admired him, now saw him as a true hero. The village council, recognizing his dedication, decided to honor Captain Elias by refurbishing the lighthouse and adding a small museum to showcase the maritime history he held so dear. As the years passed, the village flourished, and the lighthouse became a symbol of hope and resilience. Captain Elias continued his duties, passing on his knowledge to a young apprentice named Thomas. The two worked side by side, ensuring that the light never dimmed and the sea tales lived on. One summer, a vibrant artist named Clara arrived in the village, seeking inspiration for her paintings. Intrigued by the tales of the lighthouse and its keeper, she decided to capture the essence of their stories on canvas. Clara spent days observing the rhythmic dance of the waves and the tireless work of Captain Elias and Thomas. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Clara approached Captain Elias. "I want to paint your portrait, to capture the spirit of the lighthouse and the wisdom etched in your eyes," she said, her eyes sparkling with artistic enthusiasm. Captain Elias, though initially reluctant, agreed, understanding that Clara's art could immortalize the legacy of the lighthouse. As Clara worked on her masterpiece, the villagers gathered around, witnessing the creation of a painting that would tell the story of resilience, duty, and the enduring spirit of the sea. Months later, Clara unveiled her painting in the village square. The masterpiece depicted Captain Elias standing tall against the backdrop of the lighthouse, his weathered face telling tales of a lifetime at sea. The villagers were captivated by the artistry that conveyed the essence of their beloved lighthouse and its keeper. As the years rolled on, the village continued to thrive, and the lighthouse stood as a timeless symbol of hope. Captain Elias, now in the twilight of his life, looked back with contentment at the impact he had made. Thomas had become a lighthouse keeper in his own right, ensuring that the flame of guidance never flickered. One serene evening, as Captain Elias stood at the cliff, watching the sun set over the vast expanse of the sea, he felt a sense of fulfillment. The waves whispered tales of gratitude, and the wind carried the echoes of the countless ships that had found sanctuary because of the unwavering light. In the years to come, the village's children would gather around the lighthouse, listening to the tales of Captain Elias passed down through generations. The painting by Clara would adorn the walls of the museum, reminding all who visited of the enduring power of compassion, duty, and the guiding light that stood tall against the storms of life. And so, the story of the lighthouse keeper became a legend, etched in the hearts of the villagers and immortalized in the strokes of Clara's brush.